everybody, welcome to NoDQ&A video. Hope you all had a good Labor Day weekend, but it's time to get back down to business. We had yet another 3-hour Raw this week with a cliffhanger ending. We'll get more to that in just a moment, but for now, let's get right down to your questions. How successful has WWE's attempt to turn CM Punk heel been? He's attacked The Rock and Jerry Lawler, but still gets a huge pop when he comes out. I think WWE's trying to force the fans to boo him when they don't want to, just like they don't want to cheer Cena. I think that you make a good point there with WWE forcing the fans to boo him. It's not like your typical heel turn where fans turn the guy. It was the company that turned the guy. But in this case, it's different because CM Punk is just so good at playing the heel role, and I think most people would agree that he's better off as a heel than a babyface. And CM Punk has done a great job so far. He hasn't flat out told off the fans, but he's been doing little things here and there. He's been more arrogant in his demeanor. And let's face it, he got his hometown to boo him this past Monday night. When he was in the ring with Sheamus, he said that he was going to take the night off, and he left, and the people booed him. Now, in other cities, I mean, Chicago is his hometown, but in other cities, he's been getting a mixed reaction. And I think it's been working to some degree, considering the fact that he hasn't, told off the fans. Now, some people might say that I'm being hypocritical because Steve Austin turned in 2001, and he was good at getting the people to boo him even though they didn't want to. But the difference is that Steve Austin's heel turn had a negative impact on WWE business. Their ratings fell, and the mass audience started tuning out. With CM Punk turning heel, it's not going to have a huge effect on WWE business. The people that largely cheer CM Punk are the internet fans, and they're going to cheer him regardless of whether he's a heel or a face. So I think that in terms of getting your casual viewer to not like CM Punk, I think it's working out fine for WWE so far. What are the chances of CM Punk holding onto the title until the Royal Rumble? Personally, I'm not looking forward to another Cena championship run, and I'd like to see Punk hold on to it and then drop it to Rock at Royal Rumble. Your thoughts? I definitely think the best way to go is to have CM Punk versus The Rock at Royal Rumble. The tease has already been started for that match, going back to Raw 1000 when CM Punk attacked The Rock. So it's only inevitable that those two have a match, and I just don't see WWE doing that match at WrestleMania, and I think it's best to have that at Royal Rumble, and then if you're going to do a Cena versus Rock rematch, have that at WrestleMania. That's just what I would do. And also, I could very well see John Cena beating CM Punk for the title, maybe at Night of Champions or Hell in a Cell, and then CM Punk wins it back before Royal Rumble, and then they just go ahead with Rock versus Punk at Royal Rumble. I could very well see something like that playing out. What are your thoughts on Paul Heyman and CM Punk having an alliance, and could it be similar to the Lesnar-Heyman alliance? I see it as a huge positive. I think that Paul Heyman will help get CM Punk over as a heel. He'll be out there on the mic. He'll put over CM Punk, and he'll really get the people disliking CM Punk. I like it a lot. I think it will be similar to the Lesnar-Heyman alliance. Heyman knows exactly what to say to get a reaction out of the crowd. I just think it's a great matchup, and perhaps we'll see a faction being formed at some point. Maybe Lesnar will come back, and maybe a few other people will be added to the mix. And I think Paul Heyman can do a lot of good for not just CM Punk, but some of the younger guys as well. So I'd like to see Paul Heyman's role continue to grow in the weeks to come, and it'll make for some very interesting television, I think. This is from Killenberg. Hey Aaron, how do you feel about WWE's Be a Star campaign? I mean, it's a joke, let's face it. It's a PR stunt by WWE. You have Linda McMahon running for Senate, and they're trying to do these campaigns to get not just the fans behind them, but get the media behind them as well. But I mean, it is what it is. It's a political move by WWE, and it really shows when you have Vince McMahon doing the Jim Ross parody on Raw, making fun of Jim Ross. when there's no point behind it. It's not being done for storyline purposes. He's just doing it because he likes to mock JR, and that's bullying. So it is hypocritical by WWE, and I'm sure in the future we'll continue to see bullying on television, even though it's not part of a storyline, just bullying in general, just because people like to do it and they get off on it. So yeah, it is what it is. This is from Sir Gio. Kane and Daniel Bryan have some interesting chemistry in their anger management segments. How do you think they would do as a tag team? Well, I'm sure at some point we'll see them in a tag team, and that'll be the next step in the storyline. Although, I guess people would rather see them hugging each other than being a tag team. But yeah, I mean, it's been a fun storyline. I think that they do have a lot of chemistry together, and I think the anger management skits have been funny. Although not really sure what the deal is with the camera angles. Of all the things to copy from TNA, WWE does the Jason Hervey documentary-style cameras during the anger management segments. I thought that was a little bizarre. But overall, those were funny segments, and it gives something Kane to do, because there have been times where he's been lost in the shuffle, but he's been doing something now meaningful and interesting, and Daniel Bryan is just Daniel Bryan. He's been great. So thumbs up for these segments. I've enjoyed them, and it'll be interesting to see where things go in the weeks to come, but I could definitely see a tag team with them being the next step in the storyline. Hey Aaron, what do you think of The Miz doing commentary? I thought he was pretty good. He was a classic heel commentator, and I thought he was great with Layla. Obviously, he's a good wrestler, but do you think he may possibly have a future in commentating? I thought The Miz was decent. I didn't think he was great. I didn't think he was terrible. I thought he was just there. There was nothing he said that really stood out to me. I suppose he could do the commentary. I mean, if Booker T can do the commentary, I think anybody could do it. But at this point, I think he's better off in the ring, and I think that's what he should keep doing for the time being. But once his career winds down, you never know. This is from Fans Matter. You sure about that? Whose idea was it from TNA to break away from NWA, and was it a good idea? Well, to start with, TNA, when the company was founded, they needed a way to have some prestige right off the bat. So that's why the NWA-TNA partnership was formed. So TNA, right from the get-go, could have that lineage and have that prestige. But what happened, I guess, was that there were certain rules and regulations that NWA wanted TNA to abide by. And there were certain fees I think TNA had to pay when they ran events and used the NWA name. And I think as the years went on, once TNA started to grow as a company and get more mainstream recognition, I think at that point they stopped paying NWA, and they weren't following the rules that NWA gave to them. And I think eventually NWA just said enough is enough, and that's when they decided to cut ties with TNA. But I think it was something that was months in the making, and I think TNA was starting to break away on their own and trying to phase out the NWA name. But I mean, it was good for TNA in the beginning to get the prestige out there, and kind of use the NWA name to draw people in and give TNA some instant credibility. But I mean, it was good to break away eventually, because the NWA is associated with a different era of wrestling, and I think TNA needed to modernize themselves and not rely so much on the past and rely on the future of the industry. So it was good for them to start off, but it was good for them to break away after they grew as a company. Hey Aaron, do you think Melina will ever return to WWE? You know the saying, never say never, but the thing about WWE is that they're always looking to hire younger women, and I've talked about this before, how women have a shelf life in WWE, and once they reach a certain age and once their looks start to go, they start getting a little bit of wrinkles. WWE puts them to pasture and looks for younger women and wants to bring in young 20-year-old women into the company. So I would not rule out her coming back, and maybe she'll make like an occasional appearance like Lita. But as far as being back full time, just don't know if that's going to happen. Just based on past history in WWE, you don't see a whole lot of women coming back after a long period and having an extended run. It just doesn't happen. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A Video. Subscribe if you haven't already. YouTube.com/NoDQCAW. Tell a friend on Facebook or Twitter about No DQ&A Video. Keep spreading the word. I appreciate all the support from you guys, and I'll see you next time for more.